Hello, my name is DriftingNitro and welcome to another Mission Makers vlog. Today we're going to be talking about time commitment. Now, time commitment is something that I've been contemplating over the past few days that has brought me to draw conclusions about different types of mission makers depending on their technical skill and how much time they spend on the mission making process. Now, this is not to say that there are people who will be objectively better and objectively worse. There are objectively better missions. This is to simply say that when you're engaging in a dialogue with someone else about a mission making process, you want to understand the level of commitment that they're willing to put forward in order to work on this mission. If they are not willing to put as much effort as someone else, then they may be restricted and unable to do certain things in that mission. And that's just how it is. It's no secret that different mission makers will spend different amounts of time working on their mission. Not everyone has the same amount of free time. Not everyone has the same amount of background knowledge about this sort of stuff to really build up that database of knowledge in their head. It does come down to commitment, and that's why commitment is the important word here, because if they're not committed to working hard enough on that project, then it may not be the project for them. So there are reasons why people don't have as much commitment, but regardless, you're not really going to change someone's mind on a whim. You can try, and you can tell them how much better their mission would be, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. This list of mission maker types has been something that I've drawn from my own conclusions, my own growth as a mission maker, how I've seen myself at these different stages, and how I see other people as well go through these different stages. There's nothing here that says that you can or can't be any of these things. I literally just, this is a conclusion I've drawn up from my own experience. So the first type is going to be what I like to call the winging it mission maker. And this is the person who gets onto the public Zeus server and just messes around. But what's important here is that they make scenarios based on their intuition and proficiency of the Zeus tools. So they are able to quickly adapt the environment to the player's actions and make it more interesting and personalized for those people playing. There are things that could be scripted that the Zeus does, but what this type of person really relies on is the extent to which the Zeus tools work for them. They circumvent scripting as much as possible, compromising wherever necessary to avoid the time sink that could be having to make scripts themselves. So avoiding scripting as much as possible is what this person tries. The reason why they avoid scripting is sort of irrelevant, but the important thing is they don't have as much time to commit to preparing the mission. They just like to get in there, get in Zeus, get with the players, and spend 10 minutes placing some objects and say, there's your LZ. And for some people, that's all they need. They just need a set of tools and they work with what they have. And it's not that big a deal. They're not spending a ton of time preparing before the mission. They might think of an idea like in the shower or at work, but for the most of it, they're just going on the fly and adding objects, adding objectives here or there. The next level is the casual mission maker, the type of person who makes scenarios in the editor. So it's not Zeus, but they make it in the editor, and they play with their friends for fun. They utilize short, concise scenarios that are small, not really grand in scale nor technicality, but they make it very personalized. So they make it for them and their friends. Their friends say, we want to play a tank mission where we drive around and shoot at some enemy tanks in Kavala or something. And they make that personalized for them. It's not very complicated. Most of the time, it doesn't even actually end the mission when all the enemies are dead. They just sort of say, well, the enemies are dead, so we'll just quit the server. But what's important here is the time commitment. They spend time before the mission building it in Eden, whether it be a few hours to tens of hours, and they create the scenario best they can with the tools that are available to them in the editor. Now, the editor has more extensive tools than Zeus, so it gives them a lot more options, and still has a pretty intuitive interface, which still avoids the need for scripting. But this ends up being a gateway as people start seeing, well, how do I do something like removal weapons or something? They learn about typing commands in the init, remove weapons this and stuff. So small commands that sort of get them involved in the basic idea of scripting and the syntax and how it works, and they start seeing the possibilities that come up later. But for the most part, casual mission maker is just going to be making stuff for him and his friends, or even small groups, and ultimately it's just a personalized experience. Now, the next type of mission maker I would call the known mission maker. Now, the known mission maker is the person that people go to, whether it be in the group, in the unit, that say, we need a mission this week, can you make us something? And this could be any one of 5 people in a group per se, but the important thing is that they know that this person can consistently make missions and does them well. Now, something that often happens with this type of mission maker is that they have time constraints, not only with their time commitment, but also there's a due date. The due date is the day that the mission needs to be run. Whether it be a weekly, monthly, or bi-weekly basis, they need to have that mission ready by that date. Otherwise, it's going to leave a lot of people disappointed, frustrated, and possibly put the unit in jeopardy for the lack of playable content. So, what do these people do? They compromise in ways that avoid scripting solutions that they don't know. Let's say, for example, someone wants to make a mission and they have this really complex idea planned out in their head. As they're going through making it and eat in and put some light scripting aspects in there, they start to realize that maybe they have to change it up a bit because they don't know how to do a particular part of that idea. So they might either A, have to remove that idea as part of their mission, or they might even have to compromise in a way of having Zeus do something to supplement it. So let's say, for a simple example, if someone was making a mission where they have to blow up a building of some kind, and maybe they don't know how to blow up that building with a script, but what they can do is they can go into Zeus and hit the end key and it'll blow up and do almost exactly the same thing. Now, if they're not paying attention, it'll be embarrassing, but they know that that's one of the few things that they weren't able to script before they had to publish the mission to the server and run it for the rest of the group. So they keep track of those things and they run them in Zeus in a sort of scripted hybrid Eden Zeus compromise of some kind. And this kind of mission, it's not going to be played anywhere else. In fact, it probably won't ever be played again because people in the unit have already played it. But the important thing is, for the one time it runs, you know that what you're supposed to do because you've built the whole thing, so you know how to orchestrate it. You know what triggers to activate, you know which things you have to do manually, and you know which parts are scripted and that you don't have to worry about. So ultimately, it doesn't matter that there are some small bugs or errors that you ultimately have to fix by removing that part entirely, because you know about what you're doing for your mission. Between the time constraints of time commitment and the due date of the mission, there isn't as much as you can do in that time. And the last type of mission maker I would like to talk about is the career mission maker. This is someone who spends a ton of time on optimizing and preparing their mission for public use, whether that be on a server like game modes like King of the Hill or Wasteland, or whether it be something like an Altus Life template or an Insurgency template. Or it could even just come down to single player or co-op missions that are released on the Steam Workshop that have high reviews and excellent production quality. This level of mission making expects high quality content, and quality assurance is something that has to be taken into account. Now, there is a bit of limbo between the known mission maker and the career mission maker, and that's depending on whether or not the missions are published publicly. If you're someone who's making things for you and your friends, you may publish that publicly, but it won't be received very well or get much attention because its quality wasn't assured by your level of proficiency with scripting. So knowing the level of proficiency that you have with assuring the quality of your content is important in that step from known to career. And that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the other Mission Maker Vlog videos, and I'll see you guys next time.